February 26th, Juche 111, 2022. The story behind the rise of the Linhite Mine. Resolving the people's food problem for the rest of their lives is in the hearts of our people, who are vigorously fighting for the growth of agricultural production while embracing the new socialist rural construction program presented by the respected comrade Kim Jong-un at the 4th plenary session of the 8th Party Central Committee. The great heart and soul of Comrade Kim Il-sung, the great leader who has devoted his heart for. Among them, there is an unforgettable day engraved with the story of the great leader finding a burial site of leeweed, which has significance in the agricultural development of the country on an unnamed Ryongil. Comrade Kim Jong-il, the great leader, taught, great during his lifetime, the leader said that it was his wish to feed the people with meat soup on white rice, and he walked the Pojong Road until the last days of his life, offering all kinds of foods. It happened one day when the great leader was looking for Sakjugun, a remote village in the mountains. The great leader passed a certain steep hill and instructed the driver to drive the car slowly. As he said that, he looked out the car window all the way to the field on the slope. On the slope, the corn was fluttering in the wind. When the car had driven for some time, he told me to stop the car, got out of the car, and looked around. It was the time of Malbach, and even standing for a while in the sweltering heat of the earth was suffocating. However, the great leader entered the slope and moved through the ripening corn. The officials who accompanied him followed him, but did not know what to do. The great leader, who soon arrived in the middle of the field, touched the corn ears, looked at them, peeled them, and measured the length and circumference of the ears with pride. Then he measured their weight. It was only then that the officials who accompanied him realized that the corn in the field had matured exceptionally well and was desirable. They looked at each other and nodded their heads as if their doubts were resolved, thinking that the great leader must have parked the car because he was so happy that the corn farming was going well. It was at this time that the great leader took in his hand a handful of soil from the gravel field, rooted in rotten corn stalks, and said with joy, "Looks like Lin Kaiseki is buried here." The officers were astonished. Lean Hosik is a lean fertilizer, and lean fertilizer has an important significance in the agricultural development of our country. However, until then, the lean K-site exploration program had been actively conducted all over the country, but there were no significant results, so not a few people gave up their hands and suggested to buy it from another country. What could the reason for the good corn on the slopes be? That's because it has lean ingredients. Looking up to the great leader who spoke with joy and confidence, the officials were moved by the thought of how much he was concerned and how happy he would be on the road. Later, when the officials of the Exploration Division explored the place where the great leader's car had stopped, it was confirmed that the entire area around the area was a burial site. In the place where the car stopped, a large mine in our country stood up. The great leader was a great man among great men who built up immortal achievements in the country's agricultural development by devoting great effort and logo to solving the people's food problem. Head Office Reporter.